Anyway, that's it for the email questions. But last week we asked for people to write in with their favorite picks from the PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility database.
They attacked that database.
They did. I'm sure they submerged it. So I pulled out a lot of the entries that people wrote in, and I want to say thanks to Lawrence, Wild Matt, not just regular Matt, Gary, Neville, Derek Stone, Eric, Jason, and Guillaume for writing in with their stuff. And this is a pretty hefty list here, so we'll just burn through it real quick here. Star Wars Demolition. Throughout all locations of the title containing sound effect audio with the exception of FMVs, all sound effect audio does not play.
Now, I guess we have to explain to people who might not know what this database is. Basically, Sony has made a web page where if you want to know if your PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 game works on the PlayStation 3, you type in the name of the game or just a part of a name, and it does like a keyword search, spits out some games, and it'll tell you if there are any issues. Some will say there are no problems. Some will say such and such. It's all written in tester speak. Mm-hmm. So if you're wondering what it's like to be a tester, you can also go to this database, and the bug sentences that show up are what you write when you're a tester. And for example, like what we just heard from Jeff.
It seems like the most common problem is sound issues, right? Is that fair to say?
A lot of stuttering audio, and things like that. Though the crazy part is that like even when a game seems to work perfectly, they don't say works great. They just say no major problems for this title. Like that's the code word for it. We think it's.
Or they haven't tried it yet because there have been no problems reported. But anyways, and testers sometimes have to get a little creative with their writing to fit all of the bugs into one sentence or two.
Yeah, and the window for listing bugs on this database is pretty short. So moving on, C12 Final Resistance. In new game mode, when the opening FMV plays, the dialogue audio does not play. Note, when this issue occurs and the user presses the X button to bypass the FMV and the FMV ending sequence plays, the title hangs.
That means freezes.
Yeah, hangs means you got to restart.
It means you got to watch it not working.
Right. Madden NFL 06. If more than 3 controllers are connected, the user is unable to progress to the Burnout demo.
Bummer.
Some of the stuff is weird. It's
unplayable.
And here's some sound stuff. Silent Hill. Throughout gameplay, when the user's character shoots an enemy, a medium-pitched tone plays. Exactly.
Yeah.
Bang. Yeah, totally. F1 World Grand Prix. Throughout gameplay, the title runs at approximately 50% faster than normal speed.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds totally great. Good. And some of these just some of these are just super arcane sounding and really scary. Like this one for Tigger's Honey Hunt. On the Night Tail level, after the second checkpoint, in quotes, when the user's character progresses to the end of the platform at the highest point of the tree, a triangle of corruption appears at the bottom center of the screen.
You also can't get to the Burnout demo.
The triangle of corruption is going to eventually kill us all.
If you wonder what a corruption is, it just means like if you ever see a flickering piece of graphics, that's corrupted. I wonder how many of these bugs are just copied straight over from the existing Sony bug database. Like, did someone actually play Tigger's Honey Hunt? Or did they just know that this bug was never closed and people will find it if they play this game?
Who knows?
Anyway, keep going. Keep them coming.
All right. Monkey Hero. Monkey Hero. Weird old game.
Sure.
Neat game. Upon boot up, the title remains on the loading screen for approximately 1 minute and 15 seconds.
That's a long time. Yeah, that is against Sony code. You need to have some kind of animation or something that tells you that it's loading that long.
Exactly.
You have to,
Guitar Hero 2. No major problems for this title, except for the part where you can't hook up a guitar to the damn system. Hey, dude, it totally works, except for you wouldn't want to play it.
At least there's no triangles of corruption.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm working on a new game called Triangles of Corruption.
Monkey Hero and the Triangle of Corruption.
And then some graphical stuff. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. With a PS3 connected to a CRT television using composite AV out, when the user changes to widescreen option to on, multiple large vertical bars flicker across the screen throughout gameplay.
That sentence right there is why you never want to be a game tester.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because imagine like the steps you had to go through to recreate that. Resident Evil Dead Aim. GunCon 2 gunshots are not recognized throughout various areas of gameplay. You can't hook up a GunCon to it.
Okay.
Or is the GunCon 2 the USB one?
Sure.
So maybe it works?
They don't make light guns anymore, dude.
I don't know, yeah. Warriors of Might and Magic. At random points throughout gameplay, the title slows down by approximately 60%.
No.
That one's pretty good. This is the longest and most convoluted one of the batch here. Jack X Combat Racing. This one has multiple issues. 1. When the user saves a new profile, the title hangs. 2. Throughout adventure mode, when the title autosaves, the title hangs. 3. On the save profile screen, with a VMC created and assigned to memory card slot 1, when the user creates a save file, the following text appears. No Jack X game data on memory card PS2 inserted in memory card slot 1. JackX requires 984 KB of free space. Would you like to create a JackX save file? So yeah, you can't you go to create a save file and it says no, man.
Better play it through once in one sitting because you ain't saving in this
title
game.
hangs.
Exactly. And there's some real heartbreakers on this list too. Wu-Tang Shaolin style. When any loading screen directly prior to gameplay appears, the title hangs. That game is in danger, man.
Well, how can you play it at all then? What do you mean any loading screen? Like,
just prior to gameplay.
It must be just like the first loading screen.
Yeah.
Plug in, son.
Get connected.
Get connected.
Someone's got to save that game. Someone has to like go back in time and rescue that game, because if it doesn't work on the PS3, then there's a real problem.
You're dreaming.
I don't know, man.
You're dreaming.
The power of ODB compels you.
That's true. And just to prove that they are kind of working on this stuff, if you go look at Ace Combat 5: The Unsung War, the description is, the following conditions have been confirmed on PS3 System Software version 1.0. When the user starts a new game in campaign mode and the mission briefing FMV plays for approximately 5 seconds, the title hangs. All conditions have been resolved on PS3 System Software version 1.10. So it sounds like they are making progress on this stuff little by little. They didn't really say specifically that they were going to be updating the backwards compatibility stuff via these firmware updates, but it sounds like that's exactly what they're doing.
And they just had another firmware update today, so
so it's like 1.11
someone's job
now
right now is going to Tigger's Honey Hunt and seeing if the triangle corruption is still there.
Right.
Lucky.
But something they actually really need to fix, if you look for circuit breakers, it says no major problems for this title. They should change that to say, except for that this is the worst game ever made. They need to punch that in there.
That's a good joke for many games. Like Ultimate Battle 22, someone wrote in, Dragon Ball Z, this is the same thing.
Yeah. What they need to do is release a new firmware update that actually makes circuit breakers not work. That would make the PS3 a better system for everyone.
There was a weird one for one of the Gran Turismos where like the original game didn't work, but the greatest hits version worked fine. So
Weird.
it was all sorts of... I'm not sure which Gran Turismo it was, but some issues out there.
We'd like to thank everyone for writing in with their HotSpot homework.